Hey, collective. I am live, spontaneous live. And I just felt like this would be a good day to tap into the energy coming into play for us. Over the next 72 hours, we're going to have some fun with this. This is for all signs, so come as you are and settle in, and we're going to go ahead and have a look at what's going to be going down on the ether, okay? And how that's going to be rolling out in your life. Now, do understand, even though this is the next 72 hours sort of window view, it is merely just a little peek at what's going to be rolling out here. These themes absolutely can play out over time, all right? But you will see hints of this sort of introducing itself as we travel through the weekend here. And we're just going to dive right in. I don't have any specific channeled messages coming in for this other than, hello, Melissa. Good to see you. Glad to have you here. Yeah, there's something coming in around a repetitive situation. Something that you've gotten a bit tired of just sort of accepting here, recognizing that maybe you need to switch things up, need to change your position in some way, take a different course of action here to get free of what has been a real just sort of like repeat loop you've been on here, sort of like wash, rinse, repeat on cosmic spin cycle here, and wanting to get to the other side of it. So I see something's coming in here that maybe will be that thing that is like the final straw that broke the camel's back. Always a pleasure to have you here too. And you're going to decide to act on it. You're not going to just sort of like rest on your laurels here. I see a big change coming into play. We're going to open up with the ARCANE BS deck first, just to get sort of like a baseline energy and feel out what exactly is coming into play here, get some more details. Then we're going to dive in with some cartomancy, bring in the super awesome future cards here, and we're just going to have some fun with this, okay, and see what we pull out of that cosmic grab bag. All right, let's get a baseline energy here. Oh yeah, see, somebody's getting caught slipping here. And I think you're just sort of tired of this repeat loop. Maybe somebody keeps telling you that they're going to sort of like straighten up and fly right. They keep telling you that they're going to do right by you, or they're going to rectify a situation in some way, but you keep catching this person slipping. It's like they got a false front they're putting on here. The facade is starting to wear rather thin. And I think that you've been trying to work something out with this character here, because truly, you do feel a connection to this person. You want to believe the best in them. Hey, but there's something here where you recognize that it's better just to have peace. This is like sort of an embattled situation too, where I feel like you go through periods where everything's cool between the two of you, sort of like you make up, all right, let's just kind of squash that grudge energy between us. And then the next thing you know, something happens, you catch this person slipping, and then it's like an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and you're back in the same old cycle again. This is somebody who, in some way, shape, or form, has the ability to exert their power over you, or at least they have in the past, in a way that's put you at a disadvantage. And I do feel like they abuse that power. They come on a little strong. They're a little forceful. They might be a bit controlling. They might be kind of self-righteous too. This might be somebody who thinks they know what is better for you than you do. And I think there's something here, you're tired of sorting this out. So I do feel like you're about to switch things up here. Okay, let's see what we got coming in here for the collective. Something came out there. Ooh. Oh yeah. Yep. I think this is something where you just feel like it's over, it's done and dusted, like a woman breastfeeding a VCR. It's like something here is outdated. And you used to be willing to sort of go with the flow of this. You used to be willing to nurture this, but I feel like now you're taking a stand here in this situation. You may even feel, as far as somebody exerting control in this situation, if you know somebody who's a bit of a dark wizard, You might suspect that they've sort of worked a little mojo on you, that they might be doing some kind of control work. Okay? It is sort of coming through, I have to be honest here, as the feminine is the one who might be doing some kind of control work here. And you might be ready to switch this up. Now, certainly that doesn't matter. I mean, if you're a woman and you got some feminine exerting some control, in some way, this is influencing you, okay? And it could be that they might be doing something around love here, okay? It could be that they're manipulating in another way too. They could be working you, trying to get close to you because maybe you're involved with somebody romantically that they're interested in. So, it's sort of like they're finding an in through you. In fact, there could be a trio here, okay? This could be a trio of women too. I see this, all right? So we've had this energy come in before. This could be a little brothel action going down here. I think somebody's trying to play you as a pawn. I think there were times in the past where maybe you might have thought, oh, it might just be my imagination, and you sort of gave these people another chance. These could be people in your friendship circle, and then you hit a point where you're like, no, 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 no. If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it looks like a duck, then F a duck, man. I'm not dealing with this anymore. In some way here, you're wanting to get control of this situation. You're tired of dealing with the mess. You're tired of sort of allowing this person back in. And then it's like the facade drops. You see who they really are. And you feel like you got worked again, all right? There is indication here of somebody working juju. I do feel like if that's resonating with you and you do know people who move like that, it's probably related to love working, okay? And in some way, it's trying to control the masculine in this situation. That's what I feel. Or could be trying to restrain some new beginning coming in for you romantically as well. You would be advised maybe to do some kind of protective work if you feel like that's the case. Otherwise, people can work you in many different ways. People get too gridlocked and sort of looking at the magical component as a little bibbity bobbity boo. It doesn't always have to play out like that though. It can be that somebody's just like really extremely manipulative. They know how to sort of play on your soft spots. They know how to work all the angles. They know how to get an in where they can kind of very subtly gain the upper hand and then turn the tables on you here. But I do see whatever this is, you're taking a stand in this situation. You're warding this influence. You don't want to tolerate this anymore. Yeah, I mean, I think that you've had sort of like a long ride with this particular character or characters here. It could be a group of people. I think that, you've tried to transform this situation many times, but every time you try to transform it, you find yourself facing another tower. You might have some kind of relation with these individuals through some kind of trip you went on with them, or maybe you're part of some kind of club. I got like motorcycle club here coming in. Maybe you went to some kind of festivals together, or you like to go out to eat together. Maybe you went on a picnic together, just giving you some like key points to look out for here. They might even be reaching out to you. You might be surprised. You might hear from them. They're asking you to go somewhere with them. They're asking you to go on a trip. They want to meet with you, break bread, make peace here. You do have a lot of history with this person or people here, but I do feel like every time they come around, you just feel like your energy being siphoned. These people are very draining. And you've gotten to the point here where you're tired of sort of like hanging out with people, making space for people that make you feel like you always have to have your guard up. So I think when this opportunity comes in to connect with these people again or open this up again, you're a little reticent. You're not so quick to jump on this immediately. Let's see what else we got coming in here around this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think once you hear from this individual or individuals, it's going to have your brain working overtime because this is a very complicated situation. And it could be that there's like a lot of interconnection that comes with this person. In other words, you share many people in common. And there's something about that that's a little bit messy, that causes disruption, causes confusion. It could be the people that they're attached to, right? And it certainly could also be sort of a complicated situation where maybe somebody lives more of like the polyamorous kind of lifestyle. They might like to be sort of a free agent. They like to have a harem. They like to keep their options open. That might not be the way you like to roll. You might have had questions about this in the past. You might have asked about this. You know, is there anybody else? Are you seeing other people? They told you, oh no, you don't need to worry about that. Rest assured. Or you might have even asked specifically, are you in communication with so and so there? And whatever they did something to sort of like quell your fears or your concerns around that situation. But I feel like you've caught this person slipping. You caught this person in a lie. This is something very complicated as far as the network of people that is shared here. I also feel that at the same time, it's difficult for you because something about this person, they really do turn you on, you know? I do feel like there is that kind of synergy there. They also may be a creative type, and you two really find a lot of stimulation on that level, like you share that in common. You might both be musicians, or you might be both involved in some kind of like artistic field, and so you like to really bounce ideas off of each other. You like to collaborate with each other. In some cases, this could have been somebody that you were working with on that level, and then things kind of headed south. Maybe you were in a band together, okay, and everything was going great until you brought that intimacy element in, and then everything really just kind of blew up in your face. I do feel like maybe somebody wants to get the band together again. Okay, this could be coming in. It is coming in that way, but I think that also what is sort of at the heart of this here is that this person mentally stimulates you. And in the shadow aspect, there might be a little part of you that in some way, shape, or form likes that this person is a bit of an enigma. They're a bit of a mystery. They might keep you on your toes. They might challenge you intellectually. You might really resonate with being a sapiosexual. You do really feel like that's what turns you on. And this may be somebody who's a bit of a free thinker, or they look at life through the same reality tunnel as you. Like you both have a similar worldview. You connect in certain ways that's sort of hard for you to find. And so I do feel like this is something that there was an end brought to it at one point, and now it's resurfacing again. It's like, do I really want to go and dig this up again? Because you know that once you open this up with the digging ghost, it's like you're in for the long haul with this. All right, 1313 on the clock when I brought that in. Okay, something could have felt like it was a real bad luck cycle for you, or you may have noticed this, that things just start to go a little wonky whenever this person comes around. Or maybe you do start to feel things like, why does my energy feel like it's being pulled on whenever this person comes around? Why do I always feel like I'm heading into a bad luck cycle whenever I'm connecting with this person? And it may not be this individual, but it might be somebody that they're connected to, or a group of people that they're connected to. Maybe somebody who's keeping an eye on this, that doesn't like that this person is wanting to sort of hit reboot on an old cycle with you. All right. I do feel like when this individual or individuals come your way, it dredges up a lot of old stuff. And so there's part of you that has to really consider, do I want to go there again? Because I do feel like you went through some transformation with the surfing chimp here, and you've been sort of just out there surfing the Zavuya, riding the waves of life, hanging loose. You know, you felt like a lot of just sort of like relaxation come over you since you extricated yourself from a complicated situation. There's also something here about you may be connecting with this person when you're at seaside here, or they may want you to go somewhere and meet them by the sea. Or maybe they're a surfer, they want you to go and hang 10 with them, they want you to meet for like a surfing day. Let's just, drop in with each other as we drop into some waves, catch up, uh, relive the good times, the best of the old times. But let's also kind of like sort through what went wrong back there and try to figure this out. Either way, I feel like right now you're in a real good flow. And so something about this coming in is disrupting your flow a little bit here. Give me some more details about this. And again, they might be inviting you to like go on some kind of trip with them, some kind of pleasure trip. Whatever this is, it's a blast from the past. Like maybe it's been a real long time since you've connected with this person. So when you hear from them, I feel like it drudges up a lot of really old stuff for you too. Yeah, I mean, there's something that keeps coming through here. We got the grease, okay? So there's something about this person that they like to maybe put on and act like, I've really changed my ways. I've come clean. I've transformed my life. I'm very focused on my spiritual growth right now, and maybe they know that you're that kind of person and they think that that's an in. That's the way they can kind of gain an upper hand or some power in the situation to find their way back in, is if they appeal to that side of you. They might even use some of those tactics to sort of get on your good side. Like they might know that you pay a lot of attention to synchronicities. So they might do things like wait until, it's 11:11 on the clock before they shoot you a text, or they might bump into you at some spiritual event that they know that you're going to, or they might try to connect with you on that level, like, oh, I read this book and wow, it just gave me so much insight and then it made me think of you. There's something about this though that it's an act, it's not real. So I feel like this is somebody that does like to come off like they're in some way really walking a spiritual path, but there's something corrupt here. There's something corrupt here. They could be a dark wizard in secret. They could actually be an occultist. And that's something that's sort of hidden under the facade of somebody being like real pious and God-fearing. I could see that too, okay? So whatever is going on here, there's a little bit of a complicated network of people connected to this. This is something old that's getting dredged up again. There's controlling aspects in this situation. There's a facade here. Somebody may even be saying that, they found Jesus or something, and maybe they used to be somebody who worked more of the occult kind of path. And something about this, I think, will send your hackles up. Like it's going to get your brain working overtime. It's almost like when you get in contact with this person, it sets off a domino effect. And it's like all the synapses start firing off in your brain. And you're thinking of different experiences you've had and you're connecting the dots. And there's something about that that gives you a little sense of hesitation. It makes you feel like you might want to just say, hey, thanks for reaching out, but I think I'm going to just kind of flow on here because everything in my life right now is hanging loose. I don't know if I want to stir this back up again. Let me do one more round here and then I'll do a cut of the deck and we'll pull out some cartomancy to get some more details about potential characters you could be dealing with here in this situation. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, this is a chaos mom. Woof. Okay. This is a chaos mom, all right? This is definitely somebody who likes to work with chaos magic. They may even like to harness the energy of a hookup to build power in that way. This is somebody who may be trying to find that kind of in. Again, I do feel like that is how this person sort of harvests energy. So this could be somebody that you've had an intimate connection with before. And if you feel like things have changed, I don't feel like that's the case at all. I also feel like this is really you needing to switch up how you deal with this person instead of sort of just handing over the reins to them. They may stir things up for you, but do view it as an opportunity to bring your creative fire forward in this situation. There is a way that you can kind of stand in your power here, overcome the challenges of the past, speak your truth, and open up a brand new cycle for yourself where you effectively lay this to rest, okay? You don't need to sort of like buy into the BS. If you know that you've given this chance after chance after chance and it just keeps kind of going on a karmic repeat loop here, it's up to you to disrupt that cycle. And so in order for you to do that, you may need to like stand up for yourself in a way you never have before. That might really shake things up here. That might also get you a little bit of pushback, but it's better for you to see that up front before you fully like open the door and let this in. I do feel like it's important for you, especially if this person is saying like, oh, I've changed, I've turned over a new leaf, I've seen the light, you know, however they're trying to appeal to you here. If that's really the case, if this person is somebody who is now focused on growth and not repeating destructive patterns, then they should be open to hearing your perspective, hearing your truth, and they should know how to hold space for that kind of communication without it setting them off and creating sort of like an antagonistic dynamic here, all right? But I do got that vibe here, okay? Somebody here likes to work with chaos magic. They like to charge up some sigils by harnessing that sort of energy that they grok from intimate hookup connection. Oh yeah. All right. I mean, I gotta do a little, you know, coverage here, but yeah, this is the penis weasel here, okay? That's trying to weasel their way back in. And see, I really pick up that this is coming from a feminine in this situation, all right? You place it where you need to as far as gender identification. If this is a masculine, this is a masculine that really works from the feminine as a form of manipulation, okay? May even try to come off that way, like very caring, very receptive, you know, it's sort of like, it gives me the vibes of like, I don't know why I got this image of like somebody at like one of those festivals, you know, like Burning Man, it's like all deep in their spiritual process. Hey, Broad, it's good to see you. And you know, they like to kind of, yeah, it might even be somebody that could be coming in. It might be somebody you met at Burning Man, that's possible. But it gives me those vibes, you know, like sort of woke vibes here, okay? They come off like that, but this person uses that as a way to weasel their way into the drawers of many. I got that. And it's a way that they sort of make themselves feel more powerful here. So the truth is this person might be acting a little bit more out of insecurity than they truly come off here, okay? And it's a very subversive influence with the weasel here, okay? It's like very slowly and subtly they find their way in. I got until you drop your drawers. That's like what seals the deal with this character. So it's sort of like they're trying to appeal to you on a more intellectual level or a more spiritual level. But it's sort of like, I don't know, I feel like you're the one that got away from their harem and they're trying to get you trapped back in this cycle. I almost got like past life vibes with this. Like maybe you've gone many, many rounds with this character and you were one of their concubines in the past, but you overcame that karmic lesson in this lifetime. So you broke free from this influence and they're like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. You don't get to hold the power. Give that back. I need to hold that power that I was sourcing from you here. So whatever this is, if you do let it in and you think that it's going to be different than it was before, it's not going to be. It's actually going to cut off a lot of your creative power to be able to really get those new beginnings you want to see in your life launched here, okay? I do feel like you're on the precipice of something here, a major change in your life. You're really opening up to a new flow in your life. You also may be connecting with a new circle of people. You're having new opportunities come your way. You're feeling very different emotionally. You're just sort of getting back to your true essence here. after having gone through what I feel like was a really rough tower and confronting some things that were false in your life. And you got this power in your hands right now. But I really do have the sense that if you allow this influence back in, it's like you're sacrificing the power that you just got in your hands. So be aware of this. I mean, it really is coming in as a feminine that you have to watch out for here. All right? I really picked that up. It's coming in pretty strongly. And in fact, this person could be a mom, okay? Could be a mother. Could be a mother that is connected to this lover that's coming back around. Yeah, it's good. I feel that. It's like this time of you're really coming into all these new beginnings, and there's all this opportunity coming your way, and there's things you've set in motion that are having like this ripple effect. And it's drawing like the right kind of stuff to you. But there is this energy that's like, it's wanting to pull back in the tide. You know what I'm saying? I'm very happy to see you too. It's always good to see you. Always good to have you show up. Okay? This is that key also that's been coming in here. Be aware of kind of like looking back just as you're really starting to move forward in a powerful way and you finally got this power back in your hands. I'd be careful about this. I would, okay? Yeah, keep rocking in the free world, man, with the shitty acoustic guitar guy here. I mean, I feel like you got free of something here. You cut yourself free of something. And for you, it really held you back. It really held you back. You very well, you could be a musician, okay? You could be a musician. If this is speaking to a masculine who, you know, is a musician, I mean, there may have been a time in your life when you were really vibing off that, you know, you liked all the groupie action. You liked having all your fans, you know, you liked having them lined up for, you know, a good time. But there might be something here that at one point it felt like sort of freedom to you, and now it's feeling more confining because you're realizing like there's a lot of complication that comes with this. For others of you, I feel like, you know, there could be an opportunity coming your way with somebody that did just free themselves from some kind of long-term relationship where now they do have the opportunity to head on down that road to a new dawn, and they're hoping to join up with you along the way. And this could be why you got, you know, this angry woman heading your way, throwing some stuff your way because she's trying to cut this off at the pass. That's possible. Or it could be for one reason or another. Maybe his mother thinks that you're a bit of a wild child and is putting some cautionary stuff in place, and that might be the force that's stirring things up. Another option is this person could have a child with another who has a lot of sort of argument around you coming together with this person. So what I feel like you need to weigh out at this time, because though these themes are going to be introducing themselves over the next 72 hours, they're really going to be playing out over time here. You need to get a real full view of this situation, because I know that in this situation before, people have worn masks. People have put on false fronts. There's been complication within this network of people, this group of people. There's been deception. You might even have some witchy characters in the mix who've been throwing some workings around. It's possible. There's a lot of stuff here too that in order to move forward with someone in good confidence, you're going to have to dredge up some old stuff in order to lay those hungry ghosts to rest. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to really think about that. Is it worth it to you? Is it? I mean, you've been hanging loose here. You're finding a new flow. You're feeling good. You're feeling a sense of freedom. Is it worth it to you to do all that? And that's something only you can answer. But what you do need to be aware of here is there will be an infinite cosmic mess to clean up here. And that's because when this comes in, it's like 3 timelines colliding, okay? So this was likely a situation where there was some kind of third party element in the mix that made this go sour in the past. All right. And so you do need to be able to be brave enough to, like, you know, if you're the feminine in this situation, you need to be brave enough to maybe stir things up. You know, if you just sort of bit your tongue in the past in the favor of keeping the peace because you didn't want to stir anything up, you didn't want there to be any complications, you just wanted to get to the good stuff and have a fun time, I think you're going to have to challenge that edge if there's any hope for something to be ironed out here. Now, we know too that just because something can be messy or something can be turbulent doesn't necessarily mean that it's a negative thing, because it takes chaos to birth a star, okay? So there can be something that's worth hoping for here too, but I don't think it's good to rush into anything. You're going to have to understand that diving into this is going to create complication. Diving into this is going to create a scenario where everybody involved is going to really have to confront the shadow aspects of themselves. And if you see signs early on that that ain't going to work, you see cracks in the facade, don't just sort of like sweep that under the rug. You need to really directly look at that and not ignore it, because it's sort of signaling to you that maybe you've grown beyond that. And that's okay too, okay? And maybe that is why it's coming around, to show you that you've transcended certain lessons. You don't need to go back and repeat the past here. But I do see very clearly that 3 timelines collide here, all right? So there's definitely a third party element involved in this situation. It could be another lover, it could be a mother, it could be a friend, it could be something they're connected to. It could even be a lifestyle they live, or something that just in the past created a lot of friction between the two of you. But I do see that you're going to be tempted here. Okay, this person is taking a big risk with the flying man to head in this direction. Like, there is the desire to just jump in head first, be all in. Okay, let's get messy, let's sort it out. But there is somebody in this situation who's like really of two minds, okay? And you'll know which side of that you're on. But one of you is going to be like fully ready. Let's do it. I'm all in. I'm just going to go for it, because if I don't go for it, I'm going to be haunted by the ghosts of regret. And the other is sort of like, I don't know, because they feel divided, because there's like the wise part of them that learned the lessons in the past is sort of like, really? Really? Are you going to do this again? And then there's the other part of you that's like, yeah, but I've grown, I've changed, so isn't it possible that others could too? And I've made a lot of mistakes, you know, so can I create a little room for others and their mistakes and their learning process too? And only you are going to know if it's worth it. But I think what really wants to come through here is that you do need to understand that in some way, shape, or form, complications still exist in this situation. And there still is some kind of attachment, I feel, that needs to be broken before this road can really open and there could be a way forward. Are they willing to really do that work? Is the honesty there? Are you able to trust them? Because that's an important piece of this scenario too, all right? Let's do a cut of the deck, see what we got here. And you're going to have to trust your instincts on this one. Funny about how that piece came out about the duck. If it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, F a duck. You may want to F this duck. You know, you may. You may. You know, you may have really had a lot of chemistry with this person. And that may be why it's very tempting. But there's also the part of you that's wise, that has knowledge about what went down in the past. So this is going to really be about you relying on your instincts here. And I think when we feel really in our heads about something where we're not sure, like, should I do this? Should I do that? Forget about like trying to sort it out, because as soon as you get too caught up in the mind and sort of trying to have everything all figured out, that's when you invite in a lot of complication. It's also the time when the shadow has the ability to sort of like gain the stronghold and distort things. And we can cut off something, you know, that could be really good for us because we're overrun by fear, or we're too anxious, or we're looking at things from a past perspective and we don't have an accurate view of the situation. So I think instinct is a good place to come from, because instinct is really merging the wisdom you gained from the experiences you've had in the past with what your gut's telling you and your intuitive knowing. So you're going to have to read the room. What is the energy telling you? Is the energy drawing you in? Is the energy flooding your heart with a sense of like, yes, this is on track for me, like I should give myself over this experience? And even if I'm not saying a full on yes at this point, am I willing to have a little bit of curiosity? Am I willing to be open to the experience? Am I willing to challenge some of those previous borders and see how it's received? Do I get response or do I get reactiveness around this? And as long as you pay attention to the energy dynamics of the situation, I don't think you'll be led astray, all right? But I do want you to be aware that this person is very silver tongued. They are. They know all the right things to say, okay? They know how to get you to open up the gates to your secret garden here. And so you do need to be aware, because there is sort of like this sort of undertone theme here of forbidden fruit. And that just makes me feel like there might be like a little bit of deception involved in this situation that's related to wanting to override things because you just feel so damn tempted. You know what I mean? Oh gosh. And we got urinal down here on the other side of this, okay? So something, has been brought to an end many times, and maybe that's what you're kind of scared to do. Maybe there's a part of you that always holds out hope that something will really transform into its full potential. You could be one of those people that's always living for the potential of a situation rather than looking at the reality of what you're dealing with here. But there's something here that's like undeniable. And it may be, I look at the urinal and I always think of those like hockey pucks that are kept in the men's urinals to prevent things from kind of like stinking up the joint. And I feel like there's something here that is like, again, it's like something you pick up with your instincts. Like, I hear what you're saying, but I smell what you're stepping in here, and I don't know about this. Did you really bring that to an end? That might be what your question is. Your question might be about a third party. Are you still connected to this person? Are you still connected to this group of people? Are you still involved in this? Like, you're wanting to know, did it come to an end? Because you told me that this came to an end before, and then I found out that you were still very much connected there. And I'm not willing to open up that cycle again. Again, you're getting the heads up here. 3 timelines collide here, all right? There's 3 people involved in this situation. And so I think that's what you're going to have to bring up. And you may be hesitant to do that because I do feel there's a big part of you that will really want to, take this on. Really want to take this on. I don't know, I got aha, take on me. There might be like some connection there with that song. Check out the lyrics to that song if you're not familiar, okay? There is a message there, right? You're going to have to trust your instincts on this one. Let me get some messages from the cartomancy here. Yeah, there's still third party interference in this situation. You do need to be aware of it. It's operating in the shadow. It's what's hidden from you. It is something that does create a lot of imbalance for you in some way, shape, or form. When this comes towards you, it is concealed. In fact, there could be 3 people connected here, even though only one is approaching you. And you know that this brought like a lot of conflict in the past. This brought like a spirit of competition. You may have even been put in a situation where you felt like you had to compete and you're like, I'm out. I don't compete for nothing here. No. My heart is king. I don't compete for anything here. I'm good. I'm good on my own. Like whatever this is, you decided to really pull away from this and just invest in yourself, pour in yourself. So if you think something's changed there, no, no, no. Stuff's still, operating on a bit of a tricky level here. This person is a trickster. This person's a bit of a joker. They may even be a joker. That might be how they kind of get to you. You're really drawn in by sort of like their charisma, their sense of humor. They know how to make you laugh. This is the kind of person that it's like the dastardly villain that you have a soft spot for because they're just so damn likable. You know what I mean? And with that, we got a King of Spades in the shadow. Yeah, you've dealt with this person before. You've certainly dealt with this person before. But just like they can make you laugh, they can make you cry too. I see that. They can make you cry. The edge of that sword of truth is really sharp. It will cut you. This person can cut you down to size. This is somebody who, they'll really like warm you up and then they'll just cut you off cold. They'll walk away from you and leave you with, no answers. You'll be scratching your head. They may go ghost on you after you invest all this time and all this energy. Interesting. There's a honeybee. I have the door open here because it's just a beautiful day and I wanted the breeze to come in. And that download we had come in recently on the channel about, being hunted down by the bees and you're trying to get your son to Ragnarok. Oh yeah, this will bring on the swarm. You're better off really moving away from this energy. I have to tell you. I'm just telling you what the cards say here. I mean, you're being set up for some betrayal here if you let this in. And I see, here you are coming up in the light. You walked away from this situation. You cut this off. There's some truth here you're already well aware of, but you've definitely had a connection with this person before. It's not your first time at the rodeo with this individual. And maybe that's the thing. I really do think that's the thing. It's like you broke free and they have a problem with that. They're going to try to rope you back in. Oof. In some cases, you might be coming up in some way or you're heading into a real prosperous cycle. Things are really looking up for you and they might want to take advantage of that. I'm just seeing this financial piece here. I don't know. And I do feel like this person, potentially could work a little left-hand path magic here. All right, I got that. And yeah, there's going to be some kind of message coming in here, but I think it automatically, it raises your hackles, but it's frustrating because you do feel like a soul connection with this person. And they are soulmate. I see that. They are soulmate. Okay? This person could be real enterprising too. Like this is somebody who's kind of in a prominent position. They might be in a position where they're a businessman, a successful businessman, or they have some status. I feel that, all right? They could be a fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They could also have strong air placement. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here. They can be real warm, they can heat things up, but they can also go real cold. This person has that sort of like dichotomy to them. And they're very focused on their wealth, on accruing wealth, on their status, how they come off, their reputation here. I think there's a little bit of this at play here. Whoever, you cut off here, they feel spurned. Because in some way they feel like it affected their reputation. I mean, I do feel like this is somebody who normally, they're able to get what they want, especially when it comes to, hookups. And whatever happened here between the two of you, you switched something up. You pulled a complete 180 here and it turned the tables. And this person since has been really caught up in their head. And they're trying to figure out, how can I pull this back in? See, there was a separation here. It used to be two hearts that beat as one. But they're coming in. They're coming in with that kind of player energy here with the Jack of Clubs, all right? And they're really going to put some fire under your ass here to be like, move forward, man. What? Are you chickening out now? Yeah, but you know this game, okay? Don't get suckered into this. I really feel like it's in your best interest to just like leave it be. I have to be honest with you, but you know, you may need to go there. I'm not one to tell people what to do. It's up to you. And maybe you do need to enter the fray one more time. If the draw is that strong, I don't know. Some of you, I got this. Some of you may be like, oh yeah, well, I'll best them. I don't know. Are some of you dark wizards? Is it a battle royale? You're going to best them? It's possible. It's possible. There could be a little competition even between the two of you. That's kind of an interesting dynamic there. Okay. Any more details about this? Any more details about this for the collective before we cap this off? Any more details for the collective before we cap this off? So definitely interesting things coming in here. I do feel like with this third party energy, they won't be able to keep their mouths shut. That may not be apparent initially when this approach comes, you know. They may think that this person is under their control and they'll keep quiet so this game can play out. But I do feel like the third party element will sort of like blow their cover too. They might want to sabotage them in that way. That could be where that sort of like battle royale energy is coming out. There may be a third party attached to this situation that's really sick of this king of clubs, king of spades shit. They might be the one that wants to sabotage this too, right? There's a lot of sort of like complicated scenarios involved here. And yeah, I do expect to see something go down online in relation to this. Somebody hitting up the DMs or somebody putting up sort of like baiting posts, you know, vague booking, not really saying things outwardly, but like kind of like innuendo here. There may even be somebody who's been posting things online that's like hoping you're going to see it, catch wind of it. They might be using that as a hook to draw you in. You're like, I'm not even on social media anymore. I'm not even seeing it. That's possible. You might have pulled back from social media. That might have been where you sort of found yourself dealing with this mess and you just said, I've had enough of this. One more round here. Anything else that wants to come through for the collective? Anything else that wants to come through for the collective here? It's a tricky scenario. I do feel like whoever this character is that's approaching you, okay? Masculine, feminine, whoever's approaching you here, this person's definitely acting out of their masculine, regardless of how they identify here, okay? They are taking an action, and there is a lot of sort of heat being put on this, but the complication is still there. And there's something that if you do want to try to rectify this, you got to really be willing to dive into sorting out a mess. And I'm not so sure if you're going to want to do that. I'm not so sure if you're going to want to do that. I wouldn't take anything at the surface level here. I'd dig deeper. I do feel like this is something that you're really going to see sort of like introduce itself. Like you might pick this up energetically first, or there might be something you see or get wind of through something online here. But I don't feel like all the details will really come into view until that Scorpio full moon that comes in on the 12th of May. Oof. And with that, a whole bunch of stuff in the cross position just fell to the floor. And it's all in the light. So yes, I feel like this is what's coming in with the Scorpio full moon. So let's see what we got here. We got a king of diamonds in the light. Very good. We got a jack of clubs in the light. I like this too. And we have a 3 of hearts, but notice 2 have fallen away. So, you know, to me, I'm really reading this as maybe let this pass you by. Okay. I I don't know why, but this looks like some tush to me. This looks like some tush to me. This could be the point where there's a transformation that happens here. I mean, I do feel like when I look at this energy here, okay, I do feel like these energies are sort of moving in two separate directions here. So it could be that this King of Clubs used to really like play the field here. And yeah, maybe they did used to go ghost a lot, or their cutoff game was really strong, or you felt like at times they could be a bit full of themselves, that they could misuse their power, that they were a bit harsh or cold with you. This may be somebody who uses the silent treatment, okay? But it could be that they've gone through some transformation process, or they're in process with this. They might be jumping the gun a little bit. I could see it as that too. They might not be completely wrapped up with something yet, or they might not have put like a definitive closure to something. And so they might be trying to like rush towards you because they feel like an antsiness here. But it's sort of like jumping the gun. And I feel like if you just hold off a little bit, then, you know, these other options will fall away. Okay, I do see that. There will be some transformation here where it does make some kind of new opportunity possible. And then there's like true investment here with the King of Diamonds, all right? Strong earth placement too. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn could be involved in this situation, right? Either way, I would bide my time. I wouldn't jump in immediately to this. I would give time for things to sort of like sort out a little bit, make themselves clear. Do I want to get something else? I do. I want to get something else. Okay, one more thing here. Let's get the super awesome future cards here. Yeah, I mean, I do feel like there's a connection here. There is. There's somebody that it's like you feel like to infinity and beyond. Like you may feel like you've always shared like soul recognition with this person, but there is something here that definitely needs to be digested before this can manifest, okay? Some old cycle needs to be closed up. Coming in with the number 36, this is something that you already have knowledge about. That's that hermit energy. You did walk off. You did walk off the set, man. You went your own way in this situation, and you've gained a certain wisdom in that, and you've been building light for your new beginning in your life, and you're heading in a new direction here. I don't think that you should let this disrupt anything you got set in motion. I'm not answering personal questions on this, but maybe I'll make one exception here. I might make an exception here. Let me complete this first, okay? Let me complete this first, and then I'll ask that for you, all right? Okay, so let's just go ahead and check this out. I just want to get a little further information here. Is it worth exploring? That's what I want to know, okay? Let's just save you some time. Is it worth it? I mean, I do feel like some things could be cleared out in this situation that makes it possible for you all to move forward here. I don't see it happening immediately. I feel like it's something that's in process, but it's a bit like untying a karmic knot, okay? It takes a little time. There might need to be a delicate touch to do this too, so I wouldn't rush this. But let's see if it's worth it. Is it worth it for the collective to entertain this? If the collective entertains this, how is it going to go? How will that play out for them by the time they arrive at the Scorpio full moon? Because let's not give this too much grace. Let's not give this too much time to play out, okay? Because life needs to keep on moving on. Time is precious. You don't want to wait around on anything here. I think it's really important that you stay on the track you're on. It looks like you've really made some life-affirming choices here in the way you've moved. All right, so let's see. Bottom of the deck. Ugh. I mean, I don't like it with the number 14. It's like you have something to really be proud of here. It's like you're just about to welcome in that dawn of the new day. And here's this like camouflage, sneaky influence here with the fox medicine hanging out. There's a fox in the head house that wants to cut off this dawning of a new day for you. So be aware of this. All right. Coming in with the number 14. So Sagittarians, pay attention here. All right. Real important message for Sagittarius here. You got to be aware of like some kind of undermining influence. All right. Yeah, there is some like sort of like tricky energy that's attached to this situation. I feel like right now it's going through a reversal, right? But when something like that is really feeling like it's losing its power, that's when it's really going to act up and has the potential to be very destructive. So don't assume that this isn't something you should worry about, because it could really rock your stability. It could cause a lot of problems for you. And this is coming in again, okay? It's number 19, breaks down. That's the sun, okay? So this is something that could disrupt some happiness that's on the way to you. Hey, Sizzlin, good to see you. I'm happy you come live too. It could interrupt some happiness that's on its way to you here. And you may sort of like write it off as like, oh, this tricky element is not that big of a deal. It is. It is, because its ego's been burned here, which has it wanting to take more destructive action that could really disrupt your stability, okay? So don't ignore the signs. If things start feeling weird here, don't just like shrug it off. I feel like that's important. Also, 19 breaks down to 10. Again, Wheel of Fortune, like you ended a really rough cycle. You're just getting to, you know, that higher view here. So don't go and shoot yourself in the foot. You need to be careful about this. You do. I do see the temptation. What's falling on the ground there? What do we got? Yeah. Avoid this attack. Avoid this attack. There's a woman in this situation. She's like the praying mantis, man. She's out for someone's head here. And she's going to send everybody scattering with some kind of action she's going to take here. It's very destructive. Coming in with the 6 energy makes me think of the Lovers. Like, this is a crossroads moment. There's a real important choice to make in this situation. All right? It's make or break time. It could put you in 2 minds here. There could be a Gemini connected to this situation that's very much on the attack in relation to this. And you just have to understand that if you're going to accept this opportunity, after you've been, you know, going your own way with that Hermit energy, Virgo connection here, you know, you faced a lot of your fears and you're making progress here. You let this in after, you know, a major time of, you know, I feel like you were in this place of indecision for a long time. Trying to ask yourself, should I trust my head? Should I trust my heart? You felt very divided. There was a lot of grief in this situation. It was always this effort, you know. You went from effort to like this beautiful flow here. Do you see the difference? If you take this on and you don't ask those questions, you're going to have something barreling towards you in a game of chicken. It's like whoever this character is, this feels like the third party. They will challenge you. They will. And I'm not so sure that this person won't be outwardly destructive here. And there is something that really comes to light by that Scorpio's full moon. So do pay attention to this. You will be dragging a lot of old stuff behind you that's going to slow you down if you sort of jump into this. So pay attention here, cut of the deck. And then I'll go ahead and answer your question, internal bliss. I said internal bliss. Interesting. Eternal bliss. Internal bliss, that might be a little sign coming through for you right away. Just chill out, okay? Relax. The more relaxed you are about your exams, the more better off you're going to be. I think you'll really ace it. Hey, good to see you. Glad to have you pop up. Yeah, okay? We got number 1 here, Magician energy. Again, we got kind of like Sagittarian energy coming in here. This is a past matter that you're dealing with here. Could be a Leo connected. Something you didn't have the strength to overcome in the past, you do now. Also, Gemini energy could be connected to that magician there, all right? Yeah. This person may be sharing a home with somebody. They may be living with somebody. They may be fighting right now. They're still connected with this person. That's something you're not aware of, okay? So if they're making it out like they're free to go, they may not be. But they may feel like sort of like pressurized, like I got to get to you right now because if I don't, I'm going to lose my opportunity. Ride this out a little bit, okay? Ride this out a little bit. I do feel like if you sort of like pump the brakes on this, if you really feel called to explore this, I mean, it does look like there could be a transformation in this king energy, but you need to pump your brakes a little bit because there's still something they're attached to here that could really slow you down moving forward, okay? But, you know, you could get beyond it if you're willing to sort of like accept the arrangement they're putting forward here. And that may be what you're not aware of. This person may actually be married, or this person could be living with somebody, but I do feel like there is a third party involved in this situation, and they might make it out like, you know, they're ready to devote themselves to you in this relationship, but they may just want you to be a unicorn, you know? They may want you to be on the side, or they may want you to agree to letting them have somebody on the side. So again, this could be somebody that's hardwired for polyagony and you don't live that life and you don't want that. So just be aware of what you're getting into here. I do feel like it's a really tempting offer. Also, if you're currently with somebody, okay, and you're feeling really happy and you got some kind of ex coming around, it could be that they're coming to sort of like tempt you or your partner to drive a wedge between the two of you. Just be aware of what you've been through before in this situation, or if you just started to come into alignment with somebody and it's feeling really good, now all of a sudden, you know, doesn't it always go like that? You connect with someone, you're feeling really happy, you know, it's working out between the two of you, and then all of a sudden all the exes come out of the woodwork, and it's because they're trying to like create division between the two of you. So be aware here, because I see really good things up in the future for you, you know, just wanting to roll out here. There's a lot of expansion on offer for you. There's a bunch of new people coming into your life. There's opportunities to travel. I do feel also like where you've had to kind of like pinch your pennies, there's a lot of opportunity coming to increase your finances. This is like a whole brand new chapter opening up for you. It's a brand new lucky cycle for you, and you're really moving forward here in a big, bold way. Cancerian energy coming in there. And I do feel like that's something that will become very clear for you once we hit that point where we got Jupiter entering Cancer, okay? That's going to be coming up this summer, and it's going to really open up a lucky cycle for you. So, you know, be aware of this, okay? Because I feel like there's so many good things coming your way, and your radar could get thrown off by entertaining this. And it could be that you're actually about to connect with somebody who can be like a true like dynamic duo for you, but it could get intercepted and interfered with if you bring this into the mix, and it will only ghost you again. It'll only ghost you again, okay? So you need to be aware of that. And let me go ahead and get eternal bliss an answer to this question here about will they pass their exams tomorrow? What do I want to look at for that? What do I want to look at for that? Let's see. Pull out these cards here. It's on the bottom of the deck here. Strength. I think the prognosis looks pretty good for you. I think you need to calm down. I think you need to go into your exam with a clear head, okay? So eternal bliss, I would sort of like do something to chill out, okay? Have a real chill night tonight. Just allow yourself to sort of like, you know, relax, take a break, you know, do something to sort of lighten your mood, get really good sleep, okay? Just get yourself in that place where you can be real clear-headed tomorrow. I think that will work to your advantage. And maybe this is something that you feel stressed about because it's it's been something challenging for you. Yeah, okay. Maybe it's been something challenging for you, something that, you feel like a little insecurity about, like you're not sure if you've done enough studying or if you're really prepared for this exam. Okay, but I think the main thing is that right now there's like too much anxiety, like you're worried about it. And so that can kind of put you in a position where you're not going to be able to have the clear thinking you need to really ace this. But I feel like you have the ability to do just that, okay? Bottom of the deck. Yeah, chill out a little bit, okay? Relieve your mind of the current stresses. Maybe do something fun tonight to just like decompress. Okay, do one more review and then let it go, all right? Don't stay up all night studying or prepping yourself. And allow yourself the space to get some good sleep so you can get up early, feel real clear-headed, get a nice relaxing start to your day. Maybe do one more like quick review before you go in to take your exam, and leave it at that. Okay, so let's see. Will Eternal Bliss pass their exam tomorrow? Will they pass their exam tomorrow? Will Eternal Bliss pass their exam tomorrow? All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh, Judgment. Absolutely. You're going to pass this test. Yes, you are. You're going to get good news about that, okay? You have nothing to worry about, but I do feel like there's something about that. Like get yourself into that state of internal bliss, eternal bliss, and you won't miss the mark, okay? Oh yeah. Look at this. Ace of Cups to the King of Swords, clear-headed, clear discernment. You're going to ace it, man. And you're going to be so relieved. Absolutely, okay? So stop worrying about it, man. You've done enough to prepare yourself for it. The worst thing you can do is get yourself worked up so you're in this like stress place, because then that's going to make it unclear and you're not going to be able to like really, go into the exam in the right mind frame. But if you take those steps, I think you're going to get really good news about this. I actually think you're going to do better than you think you will, even, okay? So congratulations. I mean, this is such a good sign coming in with the Ace of Cups to the Strength, to the Page of Wands, to the King of Swords. Yeah, you got this, okay? All right, thanks for dropping in, everybody. I enjoyed doing this with you all. I'm going to be doing this going on like the mobile live once a week through the middle of May, all right? I'm testing some things out for YouTube, so dropping in with this and getting back out there, getting back to doing the lives after some time off, and the Coffee Talkin' Tarot for subscribers to the channel where they can ask their questions and all of that. I will be bringing that back. I'm probably not going to do it tomorrow, but I think I'll bring it back next week, okay? Because I feel ready for that. It was really good to see all of you, and take care. Enjoy your Friday night, and I'll drop in with you maybe later. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it rolls out. I'm just sort of like riding the energy at this time. All right. Take care.